I'm Jake. That's my fiance Elise. That's me. We own a couple phone shops. We're hoping to open up a whole lot more. And that's where you come in. What's up, flippers? Future flippers. My name's Jake. I've been meaning to make a video for a while talking about how I buy and sell phones on a daily basis and make hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Now, when I first started out, I discovered the whole concept of flipping these phones. I was always flipping something, but once I found phones, well, I was working at Verizon, so it kind of tied in and makes sense. I would buy the phones that customers would come in and upgrade out of. When they get something new, I'd give them cash for their old one. And then at first, I was just looking to make, about 50 bucks a pop. So, hey, quick 50 bucks, quick 50 bucks. And then I realized, I can really push it on some deals and make 100 bucks. And after a little trial and error, I found out just go for a consistent number. So have set pricing and just know I'm gonna make 75 per phone. Because if you can get 4 phones bought and sold every day, which throughout this program, you'll see that we will just buy them. The products are already sold as long as you do your testing properly, because the profit is in the purchase, but we're gonna come back to that. So basically, $75 times 4 is $300. Now, I heard this fact one time. $100,000 divided by 365 days, assuming you're working on Sunday, is 273. And so, if you make the 300, you actually have your Sunday covered for the most part. And so, long story short, I just want you to understand the importance of breaking things down to the ridiculous, so that they're bite-sized, achievable, believable chunks. And that's basically what we're going to be talking about over the next few lessons. They'll be broken up, and these will be individual videos. So this is just the intro. You probably never watch this again. But the lessons, I encourage you to go through them, watch it, go back through it, take notes, fucking absorb this shit. All right, I'm far enough along in the game that I'm not worried about giving you my secrets because I'm well established. And you know what I realize? There's enough for everybody. There really is. All right, phones is I don't even need to fucking tell you. It's good. Welcome to Alpha Mobile Phone Flipping Phenomenon. Today we're going to show you the tools that you're going to need in order to get paid. This screen you're looking at is a website called SickW. Think of it as the Carfax of phones. Its purpose is to verify your IMEI serial numbers. We need a screenshot of the following. There is a blacklist checker to make sure that it's clean, and there is a carrier checker to make sure it's unlocked. So I'm going to show you how to do it. First, you're going to need to create an account with SickW. You'll have to add funds. It takes at least $20 to get it rolling. So it's 12 cents to make sure it's clean, 16 cents to verify it's unlocked. You're going to spend 28 cents every time you run one of these, but you got to spend money to make money. So the first thing you do after you've created your account, put your IMEI in, choose your checker, scroll down to where it says 12 cents worldwide blacklist status pro. You click on that, and it needs to come back green and clean. So what we require when you get later to filling out the PayPal invoice is a screenshot or a picture of this, as well as the Carrier S2 checker, 16 cent iPhone Carrier S2. This one takes a moment to run, so I'm going to go ahead and hit play, pause while it runs, and I'm going to resume it here in a second. And so once it says please refresh, you're going to get this full report. iPhone 8 Plus, it has been activated, it is out of warranty, it has not been refurbished, Find My iPhone is off. Here's what you're looking for though. This is a Sprint phone and it's locked. So this is not what we're looking for. If you had thought this was unlocked, this is the point where you would give them carrier locked pricing, which is basically parts pricing. So the phones we're looking to buy, they will say unlocked. And again, we just need a screenshot attached with your invoice. It's as simple as that. So these are the tools that you are going to need to be successful at flipping phones. SIM popper on your keychain. If you were a carpenter, this would be your hammer. You're going to be popping up these SIM trays all day long. Now, you want to have a backpack that you keep these things in. I also recommend keeping extras in your car. Paper towels, Windex. You're going to see more about that in the next video. You do not want to test or purchase a phone that has not been cleaned. Redline Energy, keep it going. Portable charging box, along with Type-C cable, micro USB cable, Apple Lightning cable. All right, you want to keep these in your car, keep them in your backpack. You'll also need headphones. You got to test the headphone jacks. Outside of that, once you have tested the phone, you can put them into these bubble bags. We will share the link with you. You get 100 bags for $9.99 on Amazon. And I mean, I just can't stress enough. People make the mistake of stacking phones in the rear camera frame scratches the front camera or the front screen of the phone beneath it. It's a terrible mistake. The next thing you're going to need is to keep in your wallet deactivated SIM. So they're not making calls, but they're still new enough that they're calling the operator. You can hear it ring. And you can put it on speakerphone and you can hear it ringing, or you can hear the operator talking. I keep one for AT&T, one for T-Mobile, one for Verizon, one for all carriers. So keep that in your wallet. Don't ever leave the house without business cards in your wallet. It's a bad habit to not restock your wallet every day because every social interaction is a potential sale. If you want to get on Vistaprint, get some flyers, cash for phone flyers. These are great. You can pass these out whenever the opportunity arises. All right, guys. Now that you know how to use SIG-W, you have verified that your phone is clean. You verified that it's unlocked. In this video, we're going to show you how to cosmetically inspect and internally test. All right, the profit is in the purchase. So you don't want to skip any of these steps ever. We're going to provide you with a printable checklist, okay? And I just want to tell you, the one time, at least in my experience, I skip over one of these steps is the one time that feature or function has an issue. So remember, the profit is in the purchase. Without further ado, this is how it starts. At the bottom of the phone, I'm going to look inside these holes, all right? I want to make sure there's no buildup, any residue, any gunk, any junk, okay? Seems to be pretty clear. As I work around the bezel, if it's all marked up, I'm hitting it with Windex and a paper towel, which you want to keep in your car or on your person, all right? Because I want to see that it is a qualified A or B. Now, right off the bat, this phone is a B, because if there is any imperfection, even around the charge port, it drops to B. So guys, be realistic. Unless the phone just came out of the box and you took the plastic off of it, it's probably a B. So you know we pay more than any other private buyer with Bs. That's why we're making the video, and that's why you're watching. So as you go around the bezel, you see there's no major marks, no issues. I'm looking at the frame. Is it bent? It's not bent. Great. It's looking good. Let's go to the back. I'm going to run my finger around it, and I'm going to look and see if there is a gap. That would indicate a back glass replacement. So it seems to be good. I'm hitting it with my Windex. I don't see any imperfections, cracks, scratches. I'm looking at the camera lens now. All right, I'm looking inside of there. Is there moisture? Because that would indicate water damage. All right, is there a hairline crack? Because we can't have that. This looks perfect. So now I'm going to look at the front of the phone. The next thing is the mesh here. Most commonly, this is where we're going to find an issue because people's hair, their sweat, buildup gets in there and it blocks the sound from coming through. So if it does have it, not a problem, it'd be a deduction, but you want to deduct your customer so that it washes out for you when we deduct you. Now the other thing there is a front-facing camera, and we want to make sure that there's no moisture in there indicating water damage, or that it's not off to the side, because that means that it had a screen repair and they didn't line the camera up properly. Speaking of screen repair, just like you did on the back, you work your thumb around. When you get to the bottom left and right, you want to look here and here to see if they pried a tool in there and maybe scratched it up a little bit. That would indicate that it has had a screen repair. So all the way around, this one doesn't have any lips, feeling good, looking good. I'm going to cover something very important here. We do not take tempered glass. You need to remove it. It conceals all kinds of scratches and cracks. Now let's say you're doing the reach out method and you lowballed someone off OfferUp, Let Go, or Facebook. You don't just want to take it off without their consent. So you say, hey, Mr. Customer, in order for me to give you the payout on this, I do need to remove the tempered glass just to verify there aren't any blemishes underneath. Now, if for some reason something comes up and I'm not able to buy this from you, I will put a brand new screen shield on your phone. Does that sound fair? No one's going to tell you no. You got to get it off of there. As soon as it's off of there, there's going to be a line all the way around the perimeter of the phone, and it needs wiped off. All right, you don't want to miss anything. So the phone would be a grade A screen, but keep in mind, any little imperfection takes it to B. So looking good. Now I want to make sure that this is OEM. So my last step is to verify that it has the true tone. So all that, and the fact that it doesn't look blue at an angle, pretty confident it is OEM, and that's exactly what we want. So we're going to start with the external buttons, volume down, volume up, feeling good. The vibrate button. Now it doesn't have an excessive click-click because that would indicate a haptic feedback issue. Same thing if you have a home button. When you double tap, that's the first thing you want to do. You want to open up a couple apps, and you want to double tap because it needs to function properly without interruption. Same thing with the no home button screen. You swipe up slowly to make sure. I've seen where that gesture doesn't function, and that wouldn't be good for anybody. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, we're going to dive right in. Go to the settings, verify there is no iCloud. You're going to go into Wi-Fi, connect. This verifies the antenna is working. You're going to need that for tests coming down here. Now, you don't want someone to pull the old switcheroo on you, so verify the IMEI that they have provided you up front matches the IMEI of the device. Verify that the memory matches what they claimed it matched, that it matches your SICK-W. Looking good. Face ID, all right? You actually need to go in, look at this, and see that it goes to the circle and it hones it on your face so you know that it's registering. Now, if you were using an 8+ or older, you go to the Touch ID, you actually need to click Add Fingerprint, put your fingerprint on there, see it turn red. Is the only way to truly verify. The next step, rolling right down the line, is battery. You guys know we need battery health percentage to say 85% or higher. It's okay if it's below, but expect a deduction, and you just deduct your customer. All right, we don't want you to lose. Customer's got a problem with the phone, it's going to cost them. So we're done with the settings. You're on Wi-Fi, so you can text Siri. Hey Siri. She's working. Fantastic. We're going to do two things in one here. By going to compass, you verify the gyroscope is working. You also are looking at a black screen. If the backlight were going on one of these phones, it would have a white halo around the border of the phone. It doesn't have either of those. There's no issues. I'm going to now go to a white screen. This ties back into the repair. We're already 99.9% confident it hasn't been, but if you saw a little white dot in the screen, that would indicate a bad repair job. Screwdriver hitting on the back of the LCD, basically. There are no white marks in there. So moving right along, we are going to make sure by going to the internet and YouTube that the speakers are loud and clear. You want to play something with a little bass, all right? Not just people talking. You need to play. They want me to sign in because Dr. Dre swears too much. So let's back up out of there. Let's get something else going on. Beats. Rats. I don't care what it is. Just play some freaking music. Mac Miller. Sounds good to me. How about you? Boom. This is very important. Don't underestimate this, all right? Because that's not a cheap repair. So wait for the beat, wait for the beat, wait for the bass. You know it. Who knows this song? Awesome. Sounds great. The next step, we are going to make sure that the charge port is working. Go ahead, plug in a charger, pretend this is plugged into the wall, verify that it's connected. Make sure there's no resistance in there, that there's not a bunch of buildup. Very common issue. So after that, if there were a headphone jack, you would want to pop in a pair of headphones, make sure they're playing. All right, this is super important. So the next step is the ear speaker, as well as antenna. We're going to make a call, first on speaker, let it ring twice. Loud and clear. Put it up to your ear. It should not be muffled. It should not sound like they're underwater. It should be loud and clear, and it is. So moving right along, the tests are nearly complete. We're going to go into the camera. You need a white background to make sure there are no little black spots in the camera. All right, that would indicate there was an issue. And so the next step is to turn on flash. Make sure your flash is working. Look at somebody or something, all right, and make sure your autofocus works. Autofocus needs to work. Flip it around. Hey, front-facing camera is working. And that completes your testing. So I want to cover one more thing. When you're buying phones from people, you want to protect yourself. All right, you want to put together a bill of sale, maybe go through LegalZoom, make sure it's legally binding. It will cover whatever laws are going on in your state. That is completely on you. But bill of sale is going to weed out, well, what if somebody won't sign the bill of sale? That means they've got something to hide. You don't want to buy a phone that's going to go blacklist later. Protect yourself. Use a bill of sale. And we're going to give you guys a printable sheet that's got a checklist. Until you know this like the back of your hand, you can follow along with the checklist. And we're going to transition in the next video where we show you how to properly fill out. Here's how you fill out the invoice. Orders history. Because we need a screenshot uploaded and attached to your PayPal invoice. So you'll go and you need screenshot or snippet tool. If you're on a computer, you can download the snippet tool. It's free software. You hit new. That's pretty cool. It's just like screenshot. I'm going to cut. Now you need the top because you need the date and you need the, carrier unlocked and status clean. The date is important. Please don't leave it out. Save as. We're going to put this under downloads. Capture is fine for now. Now that that's out the way, you can go to PayPal. You're going to hit send an invoice. All right. Super easy to fill these out. you're going to send it to Second Hand Cellular at Gmail Mail. Here we go. I don't even have my tri-stand right now. I'm at home just frustrated because I spent all day making these videos and they didn't edit properly. So I'm just going to throw it together and shoot it out. Here's what you need to know. On the item name, this was the example from earlier. It was a 32 gigabyte iPhone 7. You don't have to put the color, we don't care, but you need to put unlocked. Okay? Huge. OEM, original equipment manufacturer, and battery 88%. Absolutely has to be in there every single time. So just to recap, you need to put in the memory, the model, it's unlocked, OEM. Now if it's an aftermarket screen, there's just a deduction for that. We'll still buy it. Battery, you know we need 85% or higher for the full payout. If it says service or is below 85, there's just a deduction, but we'll still buy it. The most important thing is, guys, unless you just opened up a phone and took the plastic off, it's most likely not A. They're almost always, you got to really clean them super good with the Windex. There's a little mark somewhere. And if there's not, great, put it in for A. But please don't put it in as A when it's not. So put them in as grade B, and 99% of the time. We're going to do 120, because that's what an iPhone 7 would be. We put the IMEI down here on this line, and that completes it. All right. You would rinse and repeat on additional lines if you have additional devices. This is the last step. You just need to attach that file, that screenshot, which we saved under, where are we at? Downloads. That's the longest part of the whole video. So as soon as it's complete, bam, we can send it. And that's how you guys get paid.